Yeah, it
Okay.
did give me a thing at
Okay.
the beginning saying that it was.
Cool.
Yeah. So we've been limited in our ability to scale our model for that reason.
Okay.
And and so my mandate when I was hired on by the board was to help us broaden our model. So look at how do we impact more families
Hmm.
quicker.
Okay.
So we're looking at if our vision is create safe and decent places for people to live, where there's lots of people out there in the affordable rental space. Our niche really is home ownership, and we believe in it for many, many reasons.
Hmm.
Um, we talk about it's like affordable rental, but better because
Yeah.
there's a
Right.
limited equity building opportunity for people.
Right.
So one thing that's unique to our program is that we register buyback rights on title and we actually register a covenant on the property with the municipality that caps appreciation. So when a Habitat family moves in, they have a limited equity growth opportunity at 2% a year. So they can build up that nest egg, right? It's not like your rent that just
Yeah.
disappears, but they're also not going to get that same market lift, which
Hmm.
means that when we, when that family eventually moves on, we can buy back that home as Habitat and we can sell it to another family. And so
Right.
that means that that home stays affordable in perpetuity. So it really becomes an asset to the community. And then we believe in this model because, of course, then it has things like economic benefit for the surrounding area. This is like working class folks that are in these homes, right? These are your uh, welder's apprentice and your BC Ferries like worker and the
Right.
person working night shifts cleaning the grocery store. Like it's hard working, sort of that missing middle folks that are mostly our clients.
Hmm.
So um so yeah, affordable in perpetuity, blah, blah. So our question is, there's lots of people doing affordable rentals. Affordable home ownership is our thing. We're looking at how do we broaden our scope to do this more often, more effectively. And so it's going to prompt us to be, some of the questions I'm asking are, do we build anything? Or do we just become lenders? Do we just provide down payments for people? And get
Right.
them into housing in their first starter home, register ourselves on title, get that investment back, pass it on later, right? Like, do we
Right.
do we
Right.
just become do that? But what that limits us in is that we're not creating that affordable housing stock where everything is still existing in the stratosphere. Where the cool thing about building the homes and selling them at this capped price is we create this sub market of affordable housing,
Right.
which is a teeny tiny little submarket right now. But if that
Yeah.
grows, that could,
Yeah.
like they do it in Whistler with the Whistler Housing Society, where essentially there's two housing markets: the classic housing market and the affordable housing market. And so we'd love to continue to build that. Anyway, so I'm exploring about different ways that we can
Yeah.
deliver on our mandate and create impact for people in those sort of areas. And so when I
Hmm.
saw your video pop up, I said, well, this guy's talking about the same stuff that we're talking about. So it
Right.
made me really curious
Yeah.
and wondering, I want to hear more about your model and the impact it makes for families, see if there's any affinity between our two missions and mandates. And if there is, there might be some sort of opportunity to collaborate. So
Excellent.
yeah,
Yeah.
whether it's
No.
feeding folks your way or
Hmm.
what.
Hmm. Yeah, no. I love I love where you're going on this. I mean, I've been essentially part of my tagline for years and years has been, creating affordable housing, basically,
Yeah.
right? That's my my goal, my mandate, my passion. How do we do that?
Yes.
And I've reached out to recently to the BCREA, the excuse me, the our professional organization in British Columbia, and I got initially a good response from them, and they said, well, let's book a call, and we'll get back to you. We'll discuss this with our people and lawyers and all this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And I haven't heard back from them, and I haven't pursued them, but um, they were interested. I guess I was asking the question um, because I would love to work with an economist
Yeah.
and figure
Yeah.
out, okay, so how does my
Yeah.
model benefit society? Okay.
Yes.
And I know that there's lots of benefits that we could collaborate on, such as, how a tenure gives people a much
Yes.
better sense of community,
Yeah.
and how when people have ownership, they look after their property
Yep.
better than an average renter that really they see their money going to a greedy landlord who just is all
Mm-hmm.
about the money,
Mm-hmm.
whether that's true or not, but that's the thinking, right? So people that own
Yeah.
are more likely to be good citizens, if you
Yes.
will, right? And I think it's everyone's right to be able to afford their
Yeah.
own property and to be able to build equity in that
Yeah.
property. And so many people are living paycheck to paycheck
Yeah.
and they're not able to save money. They don't have a slush fund where they can pop it into the stock market. And it's just, it's making a different class.
Yes.
I've heard that 60% of the people in the United States are living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the exact numbers are here in Canada, but I wouldn't expect them to be too much different. So all of a sudden, there's a war in Iran, and
Yeah.
the price of gas goes up, and so now we got to think
People
about going to
hurting.
the
Yeah.
grocery store once a week versus, 3 times a week.
Yep.
It makes a difference to leave our car parked, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'm real excited to have this conversation with you, and we'll definitely want to book more.
Yeah.
I'm actually just doing up a presentation as we speak
Okay.
on investing and
Excellent.
how an investor can invest in my model.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I'm just waiting to get a couple answers from a mortgage broker friend of mine before I actually publish it. But I want to do a presentation on that, and certainly I've done presentations, and some of them are in the classrooms that I've been talking about under buyers or investors, where I've done presentations with mortgage brokers
Yeah.
and had them explain
Interesting.
some of the intricacies, of the
Yeah.
financing,
Great.
right?
I also would like to, and I'm just perusing your website right now. So I would like to know more again about the intricacies of it. I would love for you to just explain your model to me if you are okay with that,
Sure.
because I am
Yep.
interested in how you divide a home into different owned suites, the costs associated with that, and I'll tell you why. I had a fascinating conversation. I think there's real potential for you here with a group on Pender Island.
Okay.
So on Pender, there's this network, phenomenal, incredible, brilliant, highest PhD per capita in Canada on
Okay.
Pender Island, highly intelligent retirees who want to live and die on the island. They want to age
Okay.
in place,
Yeah.
but they have these large homes. They don't want to keep them up. Potentially, they want to liquidate that asset, but there's nowhere for them to downsize to. So one
Okay.
thing I'm interested in is, do we duplex that home? Do we sell off the one half and make it an affordable habitat home? Is there a way for them to be able to bring out some money and do good in the community? Because one of the things that they care about most is getting healthcare workers on the island. And there's no housing for healthcare workers on the island right now because it's also
Right.
unaffordable. So is there a beautiful reconciliation that can happen here with seniors downsizing, shared ownership, selling the other half to these healthcare workers? So, and
Mm-hmm.
there's 100 folks in this one network that I just met with the other week who are all contemplating how do I age in place.
Mm-hmm.
So could you tell me, so that's where I'm going from, and I'm happy to connect you. I think there you may have some interested folks for your model. Can you tell me about your model and literally how it works sharing the home?
Sure. Well, yeah. So essentially, I'm looking for two parties
Yep.
to share the mortgage, and that has obvious benefits because now a home, let's just use $1 million because it's a nice and round number. You're very unlikely to ever find a 50-50 split, where the home is
Okay.
exactly the same up and
Yeah.
down. And part of the challenge, and catch me if I go too far down the rabbit hole here, but
Sure.
part of the challenge is that the municipalities only allow the suite to be 40%, right?
Interesting.
And so, and I think it's a maximum of like 980 square feet or whatever it is, right? So I think I'd love to be able, and this is what I was talking to BC REA about as well. One of the things is like, we have government, uh, people that connect with the government within
Yeah,
the BCREA
lobbyists. Yeah.
lobbyists. Yeah, yeah. So, why can't we change the laws to allow a 50-50 split? Like, why can't you have a home that's 3 bedrooms up and 3 bedrooms down? You
Yeah.
know, of course, they've opened it up now to 4 units on a lot, but there's also parking rules and all that stuff. So you're probably looking at about 8,000 square feet
Mhm.
per lot to make it viable. 8 to 10,000 square feet to do something decent, right? um, so these two people come to me and they say, "Hey, as a matter of fact, we have a matchmaking program within our
Yeah.
school as well. So people can fill in 50 questions and then so I can get an idea where they're at. Like, how much can you afford? Is it 400,000, 500, 600, 700, 800? And how many bedrooms do you need? Can you handle
Yeah.
stairs? How do you feel about pets? Do you need to be close to biking lanes or a school or a playground, that
Mhm.
kind of thing? What municipalities do you prefer to live in, right? So we
Yeah.
can weight these questions and try to our best to find a match for these people. So once they find each other, let's say I produce a match and they can afford, let's say, $1 million, then we start looking for that home. So somebody's going to live in the
Oh,
suite.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so it's not like your scenario where you're the owner, you have a home, you sold off the top two floors. You match the people and then look for the
yes,
home that they both want to buy together.
correct.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah,
interesting.
yeah. So
Okay.
there's three legs to the stool here. You got the
Okay.
buyers, okay,
Yes.
and they can either know each other or not. I mean, we're focusing more on stranger, people that are strangers,
Yeah.
and of course,
Yeah.
people, a stranger is only someone you haven't met yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the investor portal. Like the investor can come in and provide some money. And the presentation I'm working on right now is the investor comes in and tops up the buyer to get over that 20% threshold that they need to avoid having to pay the CMHC
Yeah.
fee. Okay.
Yeah.
And the CMHC fee on $1 million is about $37,000.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's substantial. That just gets
Yeah.
tacked onto the mortgage as well and creates another layer of payment. And then the third model is the homeowner, where they can sell a portion of their home, right,
Mm,
to a buyer. And that model excites me because of the fact that there's a lot of elderly people
yes.
that would like to age in place. They just like
Yes.
to stay in their their
Precisely.
their neighborhood, right? And they've built up a whole bunch of friends over the years. They've got their
Yes,
favorite grocer
exactly.
down the
Don't want to
street and
leave.
so on, right? They've
Yes.
got their dog walking routine and they just kind of love the neighborhood where they're in, and so it works well if that house has a legal suite in
Hmm.
it. I try to work with legal suites as much
Legal
as
suites.
I can. Okay, and that's another topic.
Yeah.
That's difficult but we can get into that more
Okay.
down the road here. But yeah, so the advantages of the homeowner being able to sell a portion of their home, they can take some cash out So
Yes, exactly.
instead of doing a reverse mortgage,
Yes.
they can actually help someone. They could be an angel investor
Yeah,
essentially, right?
precisely.
Help a younger family in that maybe doesn't have all the down payment. To the elderly person presumably owns most of their home, if not all of it,
Mhm.
and so dealing with the bank is relatively easy. Now everyone has to be on the same mortgage and on the same title.
Yes.
So that's the caveat that I need to people understand. It's just that you're not stratifying the home. Okay,
Yeah.
you are simply sharing
Interesting.
the home. Okay,
Oh, interesting.
now you can adopt strata rules like strata type rules. You can have common areas.
Mm,
You can do up a diagram that says, okay, this is my portion of the backyard, or this is my backyard, or this is my parking area for my boat or my motorhome, or my
yeah.
kids are going to play here, or this is where I'd like to have a garden, or this is where the dog run is, right?
Okay.
So you can negotiate those types of things. But I think the big benefit of um, this whole shared home model is that you get to choose your neighbor. Whereas if you're in a rental, the landlord can put basically anybody he wants in that
Hmm.
other unit. So, and they could have a dog. They
Yeah.
could have, small children. Not that that's a bad thing necessarily, but
Yeah. Yeah.
if you're not wanting little feet running around or
Yep.
over your head, or if the configuration of the home is like there's not enough insulation in between the floors, that type of thing, sound barrier challenges, that could be a problem. So you are able to, if two older parties, couples wanted to get together and
Of
share a home
course.
just because of their lifestyle, or they're going to be away part of the year traveling, you can do that. If older couple wanted to have those young kids around, that could
Yeah.
be a model, right? Matter of fact, I've got people from Alberta who I've just recently met, and we had a coffee meeting, a meet and greet at a coffee shop in the last couple of weeks, and the younger couple are bike only. They don't have a
Hmm.
car.
Hmm.
So they need to be in a fairly specific area. They need
Yes.
to be able to go downtown to show up at their work every, once a week or twice a week or every so often. So they have to be within a cycling distance of downtown. So their
Right.
geographical area is restricted. But the other couple from Alberta, they're snowbirds. They'd come here and they stay
Right.
for 3 months, 4 months,
Yeah.
whatever. They would like to be able to come back to the same place every
Of
year
course.
for the familiarity of it, the same neighborhood, the same, right? But they would like to be able to pay for that, by doing like a short-term rental during the rest of the year. So the other younger couple could manage that if they wanted to. So those are all,
Hmm.
that I'm just pointing out a couple scenarios to you that like it goes on and on and on, the possibilities of this program. So
Sure.
that's what
That's
gets me up every morning and keeps me
fascinating.
exciting. Yeah.
So this is very cool. If you would make your show me wherever I can look at these materials that you've put together,
Yes.
I'll
Yep.
comb through them.
Okay. I will send
Um,
you an invitation after this meeting to
cool.
join my school site,
Thank
and you
you.
can have a look around in there. And happy to put a section in there for Habitat Humanity as well, and
Oh,
have that as a little advertisement uh, for people that you're looking for as well.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm very intrigued to I'm gonna learn more, but
Yeah,
it's good to know about this as a product that we can offer even folks who apply for our program and maybe don't qualify or are overqualified, right? Like maybe
yeah,
their income is higher than what
yeah,
our provisions are, and we could
yeah.
instead refer them to a program like yours as something to
Excellent.
check out because they're
Yeah,
ready for home ownership, like they'd
right.
qualify for the mortgage, they're just beyond our scope.
Yeah.
So they might be the ones that we push your way.
What is there's a certain amount of down payment that they can't go over?
Yeah, so we
Are they,
don't require a down payment, but
oh, okay.
if anybody has over $100,000 in assets, then they
Okay.
don't qualify for our program. We use BC
Okay.
Housing's income bands of low to moderate income
Okay.
as our qualifiers for people in our program. So if somebody, which I think the top end is at like $126,000 for
That's for
household
fam
income.
for household. Okay.
Yeah. And so if they're beyond that, they wouldn't qualify, but they certainly would for you, might be good candidates for your program.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And the down payment, I guess it depends on the size of the suite, the home that they find, what what that would mean.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll send you my presentation as soon as I'm
Yeah,
done with it as
please.
well, on how an investor
Yes.
could get involved, and you can maybe look at it, give me some feedback, and let me
Mm,
know whether or not it could be used in your model as well. I guess you're looking at people that have zero down payment
correct.
up to a maximum of 100,000, right? So somebody
Yep.
could put in 90,000.
Yep.
Okay. So you're the investor, I guess you're putting in the
Yes.
rest of it in your situation, correct?
Correct. Yep, that's
Okay.
correct.
Yeah.
And so that's why if we're looking at what if we aren't building, what if we become your angel investor who comes in and provides that, but what would we like again, how do we limit equity growth or how do we tie into it? Or I don't know, maybe it's one
Yeah.
tool in our toolkit.
Yeah.
I'm going to read up on all the investor side too and see what might make
Okay.
sense for us as we
Yeah.
explore how to broaden our scope.
Sure.
Again, our goal being get more people into affordable home
Okay.
ownership.
Yeah.
So if we're the investors in this and that's what it requires to get different families in,
Wow. Yeah.
cool. What a cool
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah. It's amazing because I'm just working on that as we speak, essentially.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Are you using AI, using chat
Of
GTP?
course.
That's my assistant is called Compass.
Oh, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
He's my
Microsoft.
assistant.
Oh yeah,
So,
we
well, it's Chat GPT. No, no, you're thinking Copilot.
oh, I am thinking Copilot.
But my personal Chat GPT
Oh.
assistant, his name is Compass.
Oh, interesting. We
Yeah.
call ours Chuck.
Chuck, okay.
Yeah, and Chuck is our hardest working team member here at Habitat.
Awesome. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know
it's
it's crazy. So I've been putting this chat. My Compass assistant has been putting this slideshow together. Okay, and I'm just about ready to send it to you.
wonderful. Okay,
So
please do.
yeah,
Would love to see that. This has been really informative. I think we've got more conversations ahead of us for sure
yes,
after I've
yeah,
perused
yeah,
those materials that you're
yeah.
going to make available to me. Yeah, thank you so much, David.
Uh,
This was a
I
this was a fantastic meeting, and thank you for adjusting the time back. I appreciate
oh
that.
yeah, yeah, no problem. I will send you an invitation to school, and
Okay.
I think I'll send you the um, my presentation regardless. I mean, it still needs to be
Yep.
maybe tuned up,
Yep.
but and one of my mortgage broker friends may decide that they want to piggyback on it and be there as the professional to sort of answer some of the questions
Okay.
that I still have, right?
Yeah, of
So
course. Of
and of
course.
course, my work is always subject to a lawyer's approval in the
Yep.
end.
I
Okay,
understand.
so basically these deals are put together with a joint venture agreement.
Yep.
I supply that to people. It's about 13 pages. It's the one that
Yep.
we used, when we sold a portion of our home. Okay.
Yeah.
And so basically, yeah, I've got a couple people, a couple professionals that I rely on. And of course, the first one's a mortgage broker. Like
Yep.
how does your financial situation fit in, and what can we do, right? And then secondly, okay, once we've got this shared home ownership
Hmm.
joint venture agreement filled in to the best our capabilities, right, as to what
Yep.
we think it should look like, then I recommend that everybody take it to their lawyer for just to make sure all the I's are dotted,
Yeah, of
T's are
course.
crossed,
We do
right?
the same. We do the
Yeah,
same.
yeah, yeah. Awesome.
That makes really good sense. Yeah, I'm playing different scenarios in my head, but I won't say too much more now. You know, what it reminds me of, actually, like side story, but I'm actually kind of familiar with tricky on title arrangements. My very first condo we owned, we were moving, and we didn't want to sell it. We wanted to rent for a couple years, but our
Yeah.
strata at the time limited us where you couldn't have rentals in the building.
So you put somebody on
So
for 1%.
we put somebody on, yeah, for
Yeah.
1%, and then just had pre-signed
Yeah.
their agreements, selling it back to us for $1 or whatever,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
kept those in a safety deposit box for the day we needed to use them, and it was
Right.
brilliant. It worked
Yeah.
out
Yeah. Yeah.
flawlessly.
Yeah. And now, of course, the government's changed the rules. You're not allowed to restrict rentals.
Yeah.
So we don't need those agreements anymore.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
super
Thank goodness.
fascinated about this. Do you have more um buyers or sellers?
Buyers.
Yeah, people wanting
Yeah.
into the
Yeah.
program.
Yeah.
And do you have mostly the small guys wanting the suite, or mostly the larger portions ready to take a bigger bite but willing to share?
Well, it'd be on the lower end for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that
Be,
where the demand
yeah.
is.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah.
Because I see why, like, it's an attractive model for that reason. It's an
Hmm.
attractive on the other end as well, but
Yeah.
finding, motivating, giving the confidence to those who have is going to be harder than those of more limited means.
Yeah.
But there's a
Um,
way here.
can you send me some information,
Yeah,
please? Because like I say, I'd like to study up on your model as well.
yep.
I just had a thought for a second. Most of your construction is it condos now or townhomes or what are you doing?
Townhomes mostly, because we mostly
Townhomes.
aim at families. Yeah, with
Okay.
children.
And are you able to get zoning for to basically have a suite in those townhomes?
Yep,
Oh, okay, good.
yep, we can.
Yeah.
Super interesting. Yeah, there's different. I'm also gonna you were asking before about like working with an economist to figure out like what's the like
Yeah,
economic impact of this model. I've got
right.
that for you. I'll send you
Oh,
what we have. Yeah, we had
okay.
Deloitte do a study on the habitat model, which is really a study on the impact of affordable home ownership. And
Okay.
what we see is people in affordable home ownership get better educations. They go out and get better, higher paying jobs. They contribute more to the tax base. They volunteer more in their community. Their
Right.
kids do better in school. They use
Yeah.
the healthcare system less. Like there's beautiful stats. It's all researched and informed and pretty fresh. I think it was done 2 years ago. So
Okay.
I'll make sure
Wonderful.
that you get that as well, because that will
Thank you.
help you. Yeah.
And would I be allowed to put that information on my school site?
Yeah. I mean, credit Habitat. Like you can
Right.
say, here's
Yeah.
Habitat's
Yeah.
study. We love putting
Awesome.
it out there. So
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, feel
Yeah.
free. Cool. Okay, David,
Wonderful.
this was wonderful.
You just saved me a ton of money.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
you're welcome.
Okay,
Well,
well,
I love what you're doing.
let's share the information
Yeah.
and please join the school
Okay.
group and see, snoop around in there, see what you can find. Love your feedback and
Okay.
yeah, we'll book another call soon. How's that?
Okay. Yeah, wonderful, David. Very nice to meet you.
Okay,
Okay,
take
take care.
care.
Bye.
Bye.